Hi, I'm Dave Bates from Science North. I'm here today with AJ Esquega from Gull Bay First Nation, where they put in a fantastic new solar microgrid project. Thanks for coming, and so good to have you here, AJ.
Okay, bonjour, hello, AJ Esquega and Indigenous Kiashke Zaaging Anishinaabek. My name is AJ Esquega and I come from Gull Bay First Nation. Today I'm here with Science North, David Bates, and we're going to be talking about my community's Gull Bay First Nation solar microgrid project. So I look forward to discussing and sharing our story with you, and hope you like it. Miigwech.
So let's begin at the beginning. Can you give us a sense of how this project came to be and why it happened at Gull Bay First Nation?
So Chief and Council's advocacy and efforts towards this past grievance with the flooding of Lake Nipissing watershed is what, and the watershed that caused the shoreline and grave sites to erode into the lake, was the reason why this project really came to be. It was a reconciliation project between Gull Bay First Nation and OPG. And this was not a past grievance that we just would not let pass by. It was something that we needed to deal with. And Ontario Power Generation was involved. We're in reconciliation with them now. But there's also the Ontario government and the federal government involved as well, which are the next cases going ahead. This project came to be also because it was supported by the community. This project is community driven, and Chief and Council were involved in all aspects of the process. And the community citizens were also informed, updated, and included in some of the opportunities involved in the project. Reconciliation with Ontario Power Generation's project and collaboration between KZA, OPG, Hydro One Remotes, Lumos Energy, and ABB, those are all the project development partners working together on this project that made this a reality. If it wasn't for us coming together and using our strengths to create clean energy for Gull Bay, it wouldn't happen. So I commend the project development partners and collaborators involved as well. This was also a funded project, not from Gull Bay, but from the provincial government and the federal government, as well as some private foundation, and OPG had some contributions in the project as well. So that's important to know how this project came to be. So there's a lot of reasons and a lot of energy involved in making this a reality.
The microgrid that you installed is a solar microgrid. Why did you choose solar as opposed to other kinds of renewable energy?
It doesn't take a lot of environmental work, prep, or beforehand to use or to procure a solar site or to assess a solar site. If we went into hydro, if that was an option, that would take years. But with solar, it can be done in a short period of time or shorter. And plus, there was more understanding of solar technology, and the system didn't seem that complicated to maintain and to implement. And this was something that was new to OPG too. So they wanted to learn with us so that we're all learning, we're all working together, and that it's a win-win situation for the community and for OPG.
With this particular project, when did you first break ground on it?
March 20th of 2018 is when we had the groundbreaking launch ceremony, where we started the construction. You know, there was trees leveled by then. The environmental process was done, and we just needed to site prep the land and start building it. So March 20th was that big celebration. We invited funders, we invited project development partners and collaborators to the event. We invited the community to attend and see what we're up to and see this start. And by the next year, March of 2019, is roughly when everything was pretty much constructed and we were in testing and commissioning.
Could you describe some of the ways in which you helped to involve the community in establishing the solar array?
We worked together, and then we informed the community, had information sessions, and we also had newsletters updated on the process, and seasonal newsletters. So every season we updated on what happened, what's going to happen, and then having some community engagement activities involved in there, as well as like cartoons or contests and clean energy bingos, clean energy jeopardies, and stuff like that.
What does the facility look like where the microgrid is located? What's involved there?
So the Gull Bay First Nation microgrid project is actually called Giziis Energy. That's the official name that the community decided. It's right in Gull Bay First Nation, across the street from the existing Hydro One remote diesel generation station. And there is 1,020 solar panels now erected in a solar array across the field. And it's fenced in. It's got a gravel road to it. And it's got an electrical e-house, which stores the microgrid, computers, inverters, weather station, as well as a battery building next to it that stores the battery modules and the BESS system, the battery energy storage system, with a fire suppression system in it for protection. And those are all connected and connected through an underground wire to the Hydro One remote diesel generation station. So when that battery system is charged by the solar array, that the computer tells the diesel generator station to turn off. And there's about a 15-minute wait time for the diesel generators to turn on and start revving up, or turn off, start revving up and power the community. So this microgrid, the Giziis Energy microgrid facility, is 360 kilowatts of power, which is enough to run the whole community during sunny days. And there's about an hour of battery storage. If the sun went down, there would still be about an hour before those batteries would be depleted.
Since the array's been up and running in the community, have you noticed any changes to things like noise or pollution or anything of that sort?
We had the first day where we turned off the diesel generators with enough power to really test it. The diesel generators turned off, and everybody in the diesel plant, including myself, when we went to go there, was like, "Oh, this is weird. This is kind of eerie," you know, because we're used to hearing that noise. So when we heard that noise and thinking that we're trusting that this solar microgrid is now powering the community, it was a process, even for myself to take in, and for the people at the plant. It's like, is there really power going to the community? Do we need to turn on these diesel generators? No, actually go drive into the community and everything's working. And the nice thing about it too, with the microgrid and the battery energy storage and the diesel generators, is that they put in a computer system and algorithm that is smooth, and you don't see any flickers of the lights. You don't see any power going out and then on. It's just smooth. You know, you don't even notice it in the community unless you have your ear out the window. You don't notice that you just turned off the diesel generators and went to clean solar power. You can hear the birds now. You can hear the squirrels running in the bush. You can hear the wind, you know? When you're standing there, it's a nice feeling knowing, you know, that there's less diesel smog in the community. Or I shouldn't say diesel smog, but there is some smoke that comes in. It's not crazy, but we're reducing our smoke from the diesel stacks. We're reducing our diesel usage. We're reducing our risk of contaminants being spilled from the transportation or from inside the compound of the diesel site. So I think we're making some very good moves in the community in regards to renewable generation and or combating climate change.
So what kind of maintenance would you say is needed for this kind of project to run smoothly?
I don't know much about the diesel generator side.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's, you got to maintain the oil, change the oil, and make sure that it's not running too high or things will break, or I'm not sure, like that side. But I know on the solar side, it's supposed to just automatically run and function. And then all you got to do is just check on things. Go around the yard, make sure there's no, make sure all the wires are all good. Go check the bolts if you need to. Go check the solar arrays that maybe they're cracked or they're not. You're just going around there checking. Everything is supposed to run smoothly, and then go into the microgrid facility, the storage or where the computer is, and then go check the faults, go check the fault codes or see if there's any alarms in the system. And there's risk of snow being on the solar panels, which takes some time to clear off the snow and some maintenance. But those are challenges we're looking forward to solving too, and we've tested it through this summer. We got some solutions. We got some snow. We got some snow brushes that don't affect the solar panels. They're nice and soft. But the trick is you got to get at it quick, because if you let it sit, it freezes and it's hard to get off. So you got to get at it quick. We also got a battery-powered leaf blower.
Because that's the first of its kind, would you say that this would be able to be a model for other communities across Northern Ontario?
Absolutely, they can be used in small-scale communities and large-scale communities. It's a model that can fit, that is proven to offset diesel and run. Right now, the challenge is the algorithm between the diesel and the battery energy storage solar microgrid. But I'm confident we'll get through that understanding and fix that, and that'll be another challenge that other communities won't have to learn. They can learn from us.
Well, thank you very much for coming and joining us today and telling us about how to establish the microgrid way up in Gull Bay. And I hope talking to you soon.